Have you been looking for a job search support group and not finding one? Well, it may be time to start your own. Here are some tips on how to do it, and I'll warn you at the beginning, this is a bit of a heavy lift at the start. It's worth it though. Job search support groups are great places to find resources, make you not feel alone in the process, really kind of normalize all of the challenges that you're going through. So they're really great to have. And if you aren't able to find one, then here are the steps that you can take to start your own. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is really set clear goals. What do you want to accomplish from this? Be as clear as you can. And if you have other job seekers in your network, chat with them about what you all think would be beneficial for this, and write those down somewhere so that you have a record of what you have decided. You're also going to want to be very clear about your expectations for the group. Write those down as well, and be as clear about all of that information as you can. Ideally, any group like this is going to have some form of an agreement that all the members sign or at least verbally agree to, so that you know everyone is on the same page with all of this and you can keep the conversations helpful and moving forward in the process. This can be things like creating a safe environment for people to share, not giving information about other participants outside the meeting, that kind of thing. Then, of course, you need to find people. You may already have some built in. Within your network. They may be friends or family members, folks like that. But you can also go to places like your local workforce centers and things like that, and potentially post some signs advertising the meeting, that sort of thing. You're not going to want this group to be giant, though. Discussions get really hard if they're 30 or 40 people big. So figure out what kind of an ideal target is for you. Depending on what you want from the group, how you want the discussion to flow, you can aim for sort of between 5 and 15 people, whatever feels right to you in this mix of things. And then as you're talking to those potential participants, you're also going to want to get their buy-in on the expectations of the group, the goals, and that agreement that you have drafted. Just make sure that everyone is really, in general, on the same page as you are about why this group exists and what they will contribute to it. Next, of course, you've got to identify a leader. Now, if you are creating the group, that may wind up being you. But if you have someone in mind who's really good at kind of keeping the conversation moving along really well, that could be a good person. You're just going to have to ask that person. This is, of course, going to be designed as a group to share things. So the leader isn't going to be presenting on topics necessarily or anything like that. It's just going to be really there to keep people on track, keep the conversations so that they're helpful, and really helping the group to move forward. Then, of course, as a group, you're going to want to agree on a regular meeting schedule. The more consistent you are with these meetings in general, the better the progress that you will make as a group. And, pull them, figure out a good time that works. If this is going to be physical, obviously, you're also going to want to find a convenient location for everyone. If it's going to be virtual, just agree on which platform you intend to use. If you would like to use Zoom, just be aware that the free version of Zoom is going to limit you to, I think it's 40 minutes, which could be fine for something like this group. But you could also look at things like WhatsApp and Teams and whatever else makes sense for you in this. The point is to just establish a really nice regular meeting time. And then as part of your agreement for this group, one of the things you're going to want to do is just agree to be supportive of each other. We don't want people kind of bringing each other down, anything like that. And we want people to be able to share any successes they've had with the group, even when others haven't had any luck. So just, establish that supportive environment and be really mindful of it. And keep the focus on productivity. This is why the leader becomes so important. It's very easy in a group like this for people to fall into patterns of really just venting, complaining about how challenging the job search is, talking about how awful their previous employer was, how everything is unfair, the whole landscape is set against them, etc. A little room for that is fine. This is a normal set of processes to go through when you are job searching, especially if it's been a long time that you've been involved in this. But it's also not particularly productive for the group. So figure out how you would like to limit any of those complaints. You might even have time limits for each person to share what's going on with them. It can be useful to have an actual physical timer or something that goes off in within the meeting platform, just so people are aware of how much time they have left. That's going to keep them focused on kind of tasks that they're setting for themselves and information they would like to share with the group. So again, it is a little bit of a heavy lift, but I really do think that it's worth doing. If you're looking for a physical meeting space, check out places like local libraries. Places like that often will give you meeting rooms for free. And it's just really nice sometimes to actually be in the company of others who are in a similar situation to yours. Keep records. Make sure that you're making an attendance sheet. It's not helpful to the group if you have people who just kind of breeze in and out occasionally. So this is part of the agreement. You'll want regular attendance with, of course, the understanding that life gets in the way sometimes. But that's also going to help you kind of weed through who your potential members are going to be. And don't be afraid to, kick people out in the lightest possible way if they aren't participating or if they're doing things that aren't supportive of other group members. Is again why the leader is important. You can have that person give an individual who isn't being helpful or isn't attending regularly a little bit of a talking to as gently as possible. I hope this is helpful. Again, I'm a huge fan of job search support groups. If you have a desire for a higher level of commitment from one of these, I'm going to put a link in the chat for the job search councils. The website is Never Search Alone. Really supportive group, but they do ask for a lot of time. It is free. That's a big plus there. But it's going to take a chunk of your time if you don't want to go through this other iteration of chunks of your time. All right, I hope that's helpful. I will see you again soon.